everyone, Salicello here. I just wanted to take a minute and talk about a new game joining my classics collection. Today we're talking about Sifu, a game made by the French developer Slowclap and released in 2022. This game is great. Sifu really draws you in with its raw, intense revenge story. The premise is simple, but it's powerful. Let's get right into it. The premise is simple but powerful. A young martial artist is on a mission to avenge their family's murder by a group of assassins. But the twist? Each time you die, you age. You gain more power with each year, but you're also a little closer to becoming too old to complete your journey. From the first moments, Sifu throws you into the deep end, literally teaching you as you fight through its opening scenes. There's no hand-holding here, you're learning through your own action. This approach makes every win feel earned. You're really earning that power fantasy of being a kung fu master. When you master the combat, that free-flowing kung fu style becomes almost meditative. The fluidity of chaining light and heavy attacks, blocks, dashes, and parries into a perfect combo is unbelievably satisfying. And it's all on you. The system rewards pure skill and not luck. The structure system adds a layer of depth. Every time you get hit or block an attack, your health or structure weakens, but the same goes for your enemies. It's about timing and strategy, knowing when to press an advantage and when to hold back. Sifu makes you feel like a real martial artist, taking down enemies with a mix of kicks, sweeps, throws, and even improvised weapons like bats, knives, and bottles. The animations when you throw a weapon at an enemy are awesome. They're snappy, and they can even be pretty hilarious when you chain a bunch of different moves together. Each of the 5 levels brings its own theme and boss, each with a distinct style and attack pattern. You've got the squats, a gritty industrial area, the club, filled with neon lights and brawlers, the art-filled museum, the sterile skyscraper-like tower, and finally, the peaceful yet intense sanctuary. Every level has a story, but it's not handed to you. You piece it together through clues and items that you collect. The detective board mechanic is brilliant, letting you uncover backstory at your own pace. Some of the items have descriptions that reveal details about the world, and by the end, it all clicks together in a way that you might not expect. Speaking of bosses, the museum boss's first phase is absolutely brutal. She's got these insane blade attacks with a huge range that catches you off guard. I'd face her over and over, dying repeatedly until I finally found a rhythm to dodge and counter. Compared to her, the tower boss felt easier with more straightforward attack patterns and quicker structured depletion. The first level, the squats, it sets the tone perfect though. You're navigating rooftops, jumping through buildings, taking down waves of enemies. It's cinematic and gritty, showing you just how immersive this world is right from the start. But I wish they included more of those cinematic jumps throughout different levels of the game. The club level, the second level, is where I really got the hang of this game. I've played that level so many times, it feels like muscle memory at this point. It starts with like this big pool of enemies towards the beginning, letting you jump in and chain together combos. I'd replay it to practice and just to see if I can master it without a single hit, and I definitely did not. And the modifiers in Sifu are a fun throwback to old school cheats. Big head mode, funny voices, deep voices. It brings some humor into the game, making it feel less like a serious, rigid experience and more like a challenge that you get to have fun with. These levels have replay value, whether it's filling out the detective board, experimenting with different combos and strategies, or going for alternate endings. There are statues you can use to unlock different perks and improve moves. It's all about finding a playstyle that works best for you. Some moves are genuinely overpowered, in my opinion, leading to hilarious moments where you just dominate a room of enemies with like a single combo, basically. But it's not just about combat. Sifu is filled with small cinematic moments that draw you into the story and the characters. The levels have their surprises, especially like in the museum, where you can throw art pieces and items from the exhibits at enemies. The narrow horizontal hallways let you pull off these moves straight out of an action movie. You get to just chain all these combos against all these enemies in this long corridor. However, not every level hits the same mark for me. The tower was cool, but it felt a bit repetitive with enemy variations lacking toward the end. But the game ends strong with the Sanctuary, a shorter level that brings everything together and leads you to the final boss in a satisfying way. I don't want to give too many spoilers if people haven't played the game, but you should just play it for yourself. For anyone considering Sifu, it's not the longest game out there, but it definitely packs an unforgettable experience. Whether it's the intense kung fu combat, the rewarding progression system, or the sheer satisfaction of finally beating a boss that's killed you countless times, this game is something special. You can look up guides to rush through it, but there's a unique joy in figuring out every detail on your own. This is the kind of game where you get better through raw skill, trial and error, and that's exactly what makes Sifu unforgettable. Thank you very much. If you have something to say, let's talk in the comments below. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.